6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. It's funny. Had a clear throat before we started the show, but don't know. Just suddenly, as I click start, it goes croaky. How about that? Well, it's good to be back and clear the throat, and hopefully we'll be fine. That's hilarious. And we're going to get into what's been happening. Oil has been bumping up, and the markets have been dumping down. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and when that might clear up. We're also going to have a look at the stock market, commodities. We're going to check out the crypto majors as well as get into Pulse Chain, of course, as well as we go. So it should be pretty fun. All right, let's get into it. Let's see here. We're going to get into the stock market first. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the way in, or hit the follow button on X as well. Had quite a few new members yesterday, so keep up the good signing up there. All right, let's get into the stock market. Obviously, Wall Street posts worst week since October as the Iran conflict rages on, and it's all coming down to oil and the Strait of Hormuz, and the narrowest gap I think is about 21 miles. So that's kind of the constraint part there. Obviously, the US has taken out, essentially the navy of Iran. There's a lot of small ships and other things they're probably hunting down, but apart from that, they're pretty much blowing up all the big stuff. And they've also taken out essentially the air command. I think rockets taken off are down about 80-90%, as well as drones are down about 80%. So it's just get rid of all the big stuff, and then they'll probably be just targeting the army, right? Just targeting army bases and things like that. So it's kind of probably where we are. But at the moment, of course, they still potentially have ground to ship type rockets and things like that they can put on someone's shoulder and have a go at, or something like that. In any case, the oil price has been on the rise. So let's have a look at the markets. Dow Jones is up down 1% at 453 points to 47,500. If we have a look at the last week, we can see that we're down from about 49,000. So we're down about 1,500 points. Since the start of the issue there, we were at 50,300. So we're down actually a lot more than that. We're thinking about we're down 2,800 points on the Dow Jones over the last month. S&P 500 is down 1.3%. At the beginning of the month, 10th of February, we were at almost 7,000, and now we're at 6,740. So that's down about 200 points. And the NASDAQ there down 1.6%, 361 points today. We're at 22,387. At the beginning of the month, we were at 23,274. So we're down about 850 points or something like that. US dollar is still holding up, decent. It's down 0.5%, so a little bit of risk adjustment there. We're at just below 99, which we were yesterday, and the VIX there is up 24 points to 30. So we're going to get our Tom Lee was talking about 40 on the VIX being a good correction level. So will we get to that? We'll see. Over the last month, we are at all-time highs there. You can see on the VIX, the volatility index there. So will we hit 40 before it's all said and done? Let's go to the commodities. We've got West Texas at the moment. West Texas there is at $90.90. So obviously oil has been the big jump, and pretty big indeed. You can see over the last month. I mean, really it started taking off on the 27th of February, and we're up over the last week or so at $65 to 93. So almost $28, let's say, around about $28.50. That's a huge jump. That's a huge jump, and you would have felt that at the pump, right? I felt that at the pump. Some places worse than others because of refineries and supply, and a lot of left-wing net zero green policies are high taxes and all that sort of stuff playing a role, and just shows you how stupid their policies are, all said and done once you get there. We got the Brent oil there at $93, up 9% today. So 12.2% for West Texas, 9% for Brent oil. So a massive jump in oil today, like significant. You can see that on the monthly chart here, taking off since the 26th of February, $70, and it's now at 93. So that's up $23. That's a huge period of time since the 26th of February. So, about 10 days or so, and you got that massive ramp up. So what's the issue around that? Of course, the Strait of Hormuz, where a lot of the oil goes. Probably less impact on the United States, but certainly an impact on global players, particularly China, ironically. And so China there really in the mix now. United States with this Iranian, domination, with Venezuela, with Cuba, and all that, reasserting its dominance in the world. China really doesn't know what to do. And also, obviously, a lot of the stuff they supplied to Iran was from China, military defenses and things, and has all got shown up, right? So people thinking China was going to dominate the United States, America's reasserted its dominance and showed them up on many fronts. So they've lost allies, they've lost military dominance, and no doubt they'll sell a lot less military equipment now that they're at second best against the US. So there's a lot of things happening, and Trump's making a lot of wins on a lot of different fronts, all at the same time, right? Getting rid of an evil regime and all that sort of stuff. So a little bit of pain for massive long-term gain. Much better than having terrorists with nukes, right? That's the alternative, and that's where they were heading, terrorists with nukes. So that is this is probably the short-term price for that. Gold at the moment, $5,158, up 1.6%. Silver at the moment, $2, up 2.6% to $84. So the commodity's still having a good run there. And so what's some of the solutions? So the CENTCOM, the sort of the military command for the United States, they're trying to get ships flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. They're also, under Secretary Scott Bessent, looking to provide wartime and maritime insurance for the ships that are all backed up in the Strait of Hormuz to get that flowing so that the world markets readjust the oil prices down. And so that's sort of the stuff that might take up to a week or two to get through, right? So this could be around this volatility, and perhaps oil spike could be around for a week or two, subject to that insurance. So the insurances for ships have got cancelled by Lloyd's Bank and other insurers, and if you've still got insurance, some of them have got like probably doubled in premium or something. So that issue has really spiked the oil there as well. So the US looking to do, I think, up to $20 billion with ship insurance, and that should also get things flowing. CENTCOM may end up giving protection with Navy ships, taking them through, particularly through that narrow point, that 21-mile point. So yeah, more about the risk around drones and other things like that they've got to still take care of, even though they blow them up pretty quickly within minutes. Anything that's around, they're still not quite there yet. But maybe within a week they might be there, where they've got security control of that Strait of Hormuz there, and the insurance is in place, and so all the ships take up that. So that's kind of where we are, I think, with the oil going through there and the impact that we're seeing today. So could be a week or two. We'll see how that timing flows. A bit of a balance between the insurance the US is going to offer and CENTCOM, the amount of security they can provide. All right, so that is what we saw there, but we also saw a few other things happening. We also saw the not only the oil price, but we also saw the jobs report give a bit of a one-off shock. So US jobs shed lost 92,000 jobs in the last month. Economists had been expecting additional jobs of 58,000, not a loss of 92. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.4% as well. So a little bit of shock in the employment numbers, and that wasn't expected. So just one data point. So we'll see what happens next month. But certainly that was another shock to the market there with the in terms of employment as well. All right, so that's kind of the ticking where we are with the stock market. Let's jump over to crypto. Obviously, crypto there corrected down as well. Let's do a refresh here. We've got the crypto market here on CoinGecko, 2.4 trillion, down 3.1%. We've got Bitcoin at 68,264, which is a shame because we were nicely sitting over 70,000. Remember, and we even touched what was it, 74. So volatility, a lot of volatility there. Ethereum at the moment down 4.4%, breaking that 2,000, but still holding up pretty strong, I think. At least at the time, at the current time at 980. Recently, of course, we touched that, almost touched 2,200, but we did break that support. So we're kind of stuck in this range now. If we broke 2050, right? So we're kind of stuck down the next range, down 4.4% at the moment. BNB right now down 2.9%, $629 at number 4. XRP down 2.6% at $1.37. Number 7, Solana down 4.4% at just below $85. Tron at number 8 down 0.3%, 28.5 cents. Figure Hallock around $1.02, and Doji at number 10 down 2.4% at 9.1 cents. So that's kind of our top 10. Let's have a look over the best performer over the last sort of 24 hours, which is the least worst is Tron. And best performer over the last week is still, well, it's a double tie there. We've got Bitcoin and Solana up 3.7% for the week. So still in the money at the moment on the weekly basis. Looking at the last week in the top 100, we got OKB up 26%, Pi Network up 25%, Jupiter up 16%, Hyperliquid up 13%, and Near Protocol up 13%. Those are top 5 in the top 100 over the last week. So it'd still be up on those. In the top 1,000, we've got Fraser AI, Syndicate, and Unif AI Network, all positive there in the top 1,000. Trending overall, we've got Bitcoin, War Token, funnily enough, and Pudgy Penguins, all trending at the moment on CoinGecko. So that is the overall market there. Some of the big news we had over the week was around Kraken. Kraken Exchange there. Kraken granted a Federal Reserve master account, pretty special. And anyone doing business tied to that's also benefiting. It means that they now have it's not a full account with the Federal Reserve. It's kind of a Federal Reserve light account kind of thing, but it does will help with US dollar settlements and things like that. They're not like they got rid of the middleman. In other words, another bank that had a master account. And so that's going to be a lot better for them to grow and to do bank settlements and things like that. Stocks launched exchange for on-chain equity trading. That's a big deal, starting to get into the equity market tradings as well. And of course, US stocks and ETFs went live on Kraken desktop. So a really powerful week for Kraken exchange, and just a bit of the battle going on, which is probably why the Clarity Act is having such a hard time. Is because a lot of traditional banks pretty nervous about centralized exchanges and DeFi. And stealing the yield, because that's where all the innovation has been. As you guys know, that's why we've been here, is because this is where the free market is where the innovation is. And banks have just become a cartel. They've just become a cartel, offering getting low cost of capital and getting high returns on lending out money with fractionalized systems, right? So and they're very much bully boys, right? They're very much bully boys. We've seen them turn off accounts and all sorts of terrible things to run ideologies, right? Particularly woke ideologies and globalization, right? So it's kind of cool. Kraken there doing pretty well, even if it's centralized. It's a good news generally for crypto. So that is some of the stuff there. Obviously, the Clarity Act being around regulation, and the yield battle banks being stuck in Senate again. So we're still having a few problems there, even with the White House there, pretty pro. So it's going to be a bit of a battle to get that over the line, but I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there in the end. So hopefully by April or something. It's fingers crossed. It's game on once we get the Clarity Act through, right? Because that means there's regulations, and that's where it's when people with risk aversion and non-compliance will be able to comply and go on and all that sort of stuff, take the risk. So it's game on from there. All right, so that is the major crypto news. Pulse Chain, which had been doing extremely well, it lost a zero. It's gained its zero back now. We're back at 5 zeros here. We're on day 1,030. Can you believe it? We've got 5 zeros and 942 right now. We're down 9%. PulseX at the moment, 50642, down 10%. And we've got Ink token there just below 40 cents, down 12%, with Hex on Pulse, which had been doing very well. relatively speaking, from the bottom, is just below 1800th of a penny, down 13%. And EHEX is down at 0.0066 right now. Combined price of EX and PX is down at just below quarter of a penny on HEX there. So still large volumes to be able to pick up on the old Pulse chain. So with this volatility, some people might take advantage of that massive volume gains there. Gas prices, we got 900,000 beats, a little bit on the high side. And we've got 0.3 of a penny for a Pulse swap, pretty normal. Validators, 53,370. A community service there from the validators, pretty cool. And the bridge, way down. So we were 671.5 million for the last 2 days. We're just broken below 70 million there with the pullback in the market. Obviously, EHEX making a big role there. What else would have been? Obviously, ETH down as well. And Bitcoin too. So dragging us down there. All right, let's jump over to the Pulse chain markets overall. This is the top 100 trending on Dex Screener, sort of the default view. Obviously, not financial advice, due diligence. We like to go through it every day, at least when we're streaming. I seem to be getting back to daily streaming again, so it's good. That's kind of the part of the brand, right? It's daily streaming here. And we got DevC coin up 70%, tied pretty much, I think it's still into Peacock, I think. But that's up, sitting at 1/10 of a penny, up 70%. Seems to have been market make there a bit. So DevC having a good time. I'm not sure if there's any specific news around it, but that's having a big week. Look at the weekly candle there, not bad. In fact, we take last week to this week, we're up 170%, so 2.7x. So pretty good return there for the retail play. Looking at the daily on there, we had a couple of volume pumps. We got at least 4 days there with quite large volume pumps into the day we just in, I guess, or just finished. Had a large volume pump there, so not sure who's driving that and whether there's any particular reason, but doing pretty good there for the old DevC. One here, so which is one of the Pulse chain sacrifice small accounts, wasn't it? Sort of public sacrifice here. I didn't really like it, but that was there. That is up 8%. I think it was it Moon King, I think, and the guys, yeah, I think so. We got Pulse Maker up 5%. This one here, I'm not sure, can't remember what that one's got, blank thing on it. So that's up 3.8%. Pepe number 5 is up 1%. This was doing well yesterday, remember? 0004 at the moment, so still doing okay, even with some profit taking over the last 6 hours. So Pepe is still doing all right. Let's go to the daily on this one. Yeah, I mean, a couple of good days, facing a bit of resistance here. RSI got plenty of room to move if it wants to, but needs, I guess, a bit more sentiment. But that's doing pretty well for the old Pepe. Top Hat managing to jump in the top 10 there, slightly flat, not really doing too much as the old Top Hat. Also got quite a bit of liquidity tied to Peacock. But as you can see, that's kind of just trading sideways there. I think Crypto Coffee, if he wanted to really move this coin, he could, but he doesn't really seem to focus too much on it and just lets it do its thing. So don't normally see a lot of posts from him, but could be something he does in the future. We'll see once things start to move. I'm sure he's got a nice bag of it, so why not? He is one of the top, if not the top influencer in the Pulse chain. We got surgical trainers. Everything else is out of the money. So we've only got 6 coins that are in the green on the top 100 trending. Everything else is down right now. We've got Peacock, which has got its big news coming out, right? So we're going to talk about that. That's down 7.8%, almost 8% today, but holding up pretty well at 1.7 cents. We're going to talk about that in a minute. What else? Scrolling right down here. Let's go to the worst performers. Obviously, the Richard Hart coins down here we just talked about earlier. PDC the Greys was having a great run on the referral. That's down pretty significantly. So we're down 15% today. Let's have a look at the move there. Now, you guys know I called this pretty much exactly on the day, didn't I? I said the RSI is hot and this needs a correction, and here it came. So even with the market, still had a correction, and down it came. So that was a nice call there. And we got up to all the way up to 0.0018, and now we're down at 0.0013. So remember, the RSI is your best friend, even if you don't look at any other indicators. And if you're new to crypto, you should have the RSI. It will allow you to work out whether you're buying tops or buying bottoms. You're going to see a lot of people that come into crypto, even people that have been around for a long time, make the same mistake. and that is, you buy tops all the time, thinking that this is the best thing since sliced bread. It could never come down. It's only going to go always up, and it does. It doesn't, right? So the RSI, pretty reliable. You can see back here, it got into the oversold territory. Oh, sorry, overbought above 70, and then it went all the way down. Look at that, boom, and it went all the way down. Then it got to oversold here below 30, and then it chopped around a little bit. So sometimes they may recover, sometimes they may chop around a bit, and then slowly it's chopping around here on the RSI. And then it decided to take off there, and have a big rally. Obviously, have the referral program coming in February, really picked up a pace, and there we go. We're now at 00013. Yeah, good times. Now we're going to have to see where this goes. Where's it going to drop? It might come down to the 50, right? It might come down to 50. Even maybe slightly lower, 45. So we'll see where this decides to land on the old PDC. Referral program still going, but it does take a lot of energy, and it does. Market sentiment tends to drag things down, right? The market sentiment is a big headwind. We'll see how that goes. But they're doing a great job in that community. That's exactly what you want to see, right? So kind of cool. OG Web Chef dominance down 30%, and obviously they tend to do pretty well. But that is a big correction there for the old dominance, down 30%. From yesterday, which was doing pretty well, right? We had a nice little green candle there on the weekly. Yeah, all the way up and all the way down. So pretty brutal sometimes. I generally keep away from the OG Web Chefs, but they're certainly entertaining, and they were dominating for quite a few months, weren't they? The old OG Web Chef sort of manipulated volumes. All right, so that is where we are right now. Let's quickly see some of the news that we had. We've got Sean O'Malley in the house, by the way, up only. Good to see you, Sean, as always. Welcome. We have the big news yesterday over the last 24 hours was a confirmation of, the Prevex stuff from Richard Hart, the founder. Now, Richard's always making tactical moves. We've been making a lot of those since the beginning of last year, and he's really, ramped it up. He's doing what he can. He's got a couple of things he can do outside of, a rally in the markets. In other words, ETH going over 5K, and the magic carpet ride money being worth billions of dollars, all that sort of stuff. But apart from that, he's still got a lot of moves he can make within the system, because the OA, controls a lot of stuff, and they have also. He's obviously been working on marketing, doing LP changes, things like that. And of course, at the moment, he's got this peer-to-peer, privacy technology, Prevex, with the ZK, and this came out yesterday, right? A testnet Prevex stat page has appeared that verifies the distribution. App.prevex.com, and it's stats. We did cover this yesterday briefly. You should check your PRVX balance. So this is the token there. People are going to look forward to balance on testnet. Remember, this is a test net, not a main net, so not quite hit the market yet. Obviously, just getting the sacrifice set correct, which I think is about 7,000 accounts, something like that. Also, someone checking it all said we've just been made aware that a small number of addresses don't show their Prevex balance on testnet. We've been looking into the missing SAC that was brought to our attention. The token balance for the associated wallet isn't visible on the testnet explorer. Sites being visible on the Prevex stack dashboard and the official distribution list. However, once we manually queried the testnet blockchain, apparently that token is definitely there. This is seemingly just a UI issue on the block explorer for a small number of wallets. We urge you to check the balances of your wallets, but don't panic if it's not immediately visible. Reach out to us or the official SimpleX link on the Prevex app. If something is missing, we're happy to help. Side-by-side comparison of the official distribution list versus testnet token balance data directly queried on-chain shows 4 discrepancies. All are related to the pool moving their balance into a contract and doing a few test distributions there, which is similar to what CryptoSolve showed, or the same thing. So there we go. Yeah, kind of cool. We got some nice comments from RhinoFi and a few others there. So yeah, Emmett there. So kind of cool. So that was pretty positive from Richard. So yeah, we could be pretty close to another chess move from Richard with the launch of Prevex. Obviously, all the money that was raised with that as well. We'll see what happens to all that in terms of LP pools. Will Richard pick up some of these staking derivative tokens to use as pairings, maybe like SDI or SUSDCC or something like that. We'll see what happens with that. Obviously, remember, this is a token that's going to be burned down from the beginning, just like PulseX. So total supply will going down, but how does it pick up the rest of the Pulse chain? Presumably, the main pool will be on Pulse chain as opposed to Ethereum, but we'll see. All that sort of tactical stuff, and see where that goes. And will that be what really picks up Pulse chain? Will that be the next sort of value move? We'll see. All right. So that is for Richard Hart. The other big thing that we're looking forward to is Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap. Now, I did do an article yesterday on Liberty Swap. We may check that out afterwards. But Liberty Shield is getting much better and far more private. So this is one of the modules, let's say. I like to call it modules on Liberty Swap since it's doing so much stuff. If you have a railgun balance on Ethereum, you can now withdraw privately to Pulse Chain, BNB Chain, or Ethereum itself. If you have a railgun balance on Arbitrum or BNB Chain, you can withdraw privately to Pulse Chain, Ethereum, or other support chains and more convenience. We've got lots of squiggly lines there between the different chains there. Pretty funny. A test transaction on mainnet, railgun BNB, pretty cool. USD, testnet on mainnet. There we go. USD to USD. So railgun Ethereum to BNB smart chain. So they provide receipts. We like that. We provide receipts. So that is going pretty well. So obviously you have to get familiar with a railway wallet and then get into all the privacy stuff, shielding and all that sort of stuff if you're going to be doing that. But typically favors a lot of big players or people that want privacy. But I think we're going to see some pretty special things happening with that once the DeFi starts rolling out within that privacy ecosystem, multi-chain, remember, and unified liquidity, essentially, with intent-based trading. So it's a pretty big deal. And we should start to see some pretty awesome trading products within that, as well as lending products. So we could get some pretty big things happening, especially if big players adopt it because they want more anonymity, right? And they could start moving markets in more special ways. Could be quite good. So that's kind of cool. We had some other updates from Liberty Swap. They also provide they make commentaries on a lot of technical stuff that's being expanded on Ethereum and other chains. It's always worth keeping a look out because often they would incorporate it or leverage it if they can, right? If they see any new technology upgrades or this or that. Now, obviously, ProveX is going to be one of those things that they're going to be a fast adopter to. We talked about Vault 369 going to be a quick adopter using the token, but using the technology, Liberty Swap's going to be right there pretty quick. We'll probably see, what is it? I've forgotten the name of it now. What's the other bridge? Launch now. No, not launch now. I've forgotten the name. But anyway, they're looking to use it too, I believe. I forgot to mention Liberty X has limit orders. So Liberty X is what we're expecting next, right? When? This weekend, apparently. We're expecting it by the 7th. Well, it's the 7th here. Now that would be 7th tomorrow. So yeah, it looks like pretty much on time for the weekend. I forgot to mention Liberty X has limit orders by nature, which is going to be really popular, obviously, with the best matching order system that doesn't hold user funds hostage while waiting for the order to be filled. Much more secure, and it looks like this weekend, guys, for Liberty X. So that's the next big module, and it's kind of got the aggregation, right? Intent-based trading, aggregation, and so off-chain, on-chain too. So on-chain and off-chain, I should say, in that order. So pretty cool. Obviously, they've been giving a lot of love from Liberty Swap to Peacock. So more love to Peacock this weekend. And, price has been holding up pretty well, 1.7, 1.8 cents. There was a big seller yesterday. Well, when I say big seller, there was one decent seller yesterday. For the first month, Liberty X launches with 0 fees. Gas fully sponsored to showcase our intent-based order execution, native limit orders, and superior fast price execution. Stay tuned. Now, that fast price execution is going to be interesting to see. That'd be interesting to see that. But pretty cool stuff here from Liberty Swap. Yeah, cool. All right, so that is. Oh, what did someone say? Feed the bird, yeah. So when they do charge fees again, it looks like they're going to have buyback and burn, so additional money to buy back. But they always start off with that gas free. So kind of cool. That is a Liberty Swap. Now I did post a a thing about it yesterday. I don't know where I put it, but let's have a look. Where did I? Emmett Farm. I don't know where it's gone because I had it here. It's disappeared for some reason. What the heck? I have no idea. Did I put it in my replies or something? No, I can't. I actually did it as a post. Yeah, post there somewhere. Anyway, so I did post that out yesterday. I have no idea where it's gone, but it was pinned. I pinned it, but then I pinned the show, so it's probably gone now. Probably gone. So that is some of the highlights going on right now on the old on Pulse Chain. We got Frank Whitehouse there. Bang bang, Pulse Gang. Good to see you, Frank White. Yeah, so that is some of the highlights there. And look, it only took us half an hour to get through today. Yesterday we did an hour show, but it took only half an hour today. So those are some of the highlights. Markets down. The solution for the oil price will be the US, and will be Secretary Scott Bessent's doing some sort of wartime / maritime insurance for the Strait of Hormuz. Could take a week or two. Those are words from the Secretary Scott Bessent himself. So we could have volatility around for a good week or two, and then CENTCOM there looking around the security, for ships going through that small part. So I guess it will just be how much control they have on drones, keeping the Iranians at bay, right? So, but most of the heavy stuff's already been destroyed. We'll see how they go, and they're obviously ramping up their bombing, more planes, more bombing, because basically they're just going to really wipe out all the big ticket items in Iran, so that they can't really do any forward projection or even defense. And then it's basically the army left, right? They won't be doing a ground invasion. They'll be trying to obviously do a revolution from within. Maybe we might see the Kurds do some stuff from Iraq in there, but they'll be limited, right? Because they don't want a sectarian outcome either. So it's going to be more of a revolution of the Iranian people, and taking out military institutions to make that happen. Because if you got Iranian garrisons that will oppress the people, and they'll know where a lot of those are, the ones that have killed tens of thousands of people in the last month or so in the last uprising. They know where those guys are, so they'll particularly focus on getting rid of those guys, right? It could all be playing out pretty cool, and then freedom to the Iranian people, right? Remember, over 80% of the people don't want the Ayatollahs and the extremists there, who are very evil people, right? They kill tens of thousands of their own people. They're quite happy to do that. So it's going to be free. And if you remember what Iran was like before the Ayatollahs rule in '69, then it was just like any modern Western society. Obviously, society was a lot better in many ways back then, but it is going to be good for the people ultimately. It's also a check on another ally of China. It keeps China in check, and China really hasn't known what to do. They've just lost Venezuela as well, and so Panama lost that pretty much. They're losing all their Cuba's next, right? Cuba's next. So they're losing all their forward bases against the United States. So one by one, Trump's taking them all out. Very, very clever plan. Hitting many stones there. So that's kind of cool. And what else? I think so that's going to probably fix up within a week or two with the insurance program, and then we've obviously got the fundamentals are playing pretty well for crypto. Obviously, the Clarity Act is becoming a sticking point. That is the big dam we want to crack, so that we have the massive gains for the second half of the year. So we've definitely got the volatility first half of the year, as was expected. Tom Lee talked about things like this, and now second half of the year should set up for that big run that we're all after. Hopefully, we get the Clarity Act through by April maybe, and then also all the investment that flows from that, and we get geopolitics calms down because the big Iran things have been dealt with. So it's kind of the play. We'll see where we go from here. Pulse chain, of course, nice large volumes to be picked up at the moment on this area. So do with that what you will. But you definitely want the quality stuff. We did recently see Hex make a nice little move. That was kind of cool. PC doing well. Peacock doing well. So there are a few opportunities on the old chain there that are doing pretty well. Richard Hart making his moves, and PrevX may not be that far away. We'll see. PRVX, that could be the next big excitement on the old Pulse chain. Certainly Liberty Swap making it easier for people to bring over. And yeah, Ramp Now is the one I was thinking of. Ramp Now is also working on a wallet. And I think it would be great if Ramp Now could expand their fiat off ramps as well. Currently, they've only got Europe and I think India, but it'd be great if they can do other off ramps as well. That'd be pretty useful. So that's pretty much it. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. We're on 3 YouTube channels. If you haven't followed on X, smash the follow button there. We're heading towards 1,500. As you guys know, I've had to rebuild the channel because the old one got taken down for no good reason. When you make appeals, they go nowhere. We're hitting, I think we're 33 away from 1,500 again. So that's a good little milestone. So smash the follow button there. All right. Where else? We got some good teams doing some stuff, haven't we? True DeFi is still building out. So big shout out to those teams. We've got some good stuff happening at the farms, Emmett Farm, True Farm, Nexian. They're all doing some pretty good stuff there. Function Island, I think, with Donny D is doing some stuff with some new protocols. So there's good stuff happening in the farming space. We've got Liquidity Forks with the Vault 369 coming from Fast Abdul, the frontier of that, multi-chain, multi-collateral. What else is happening? There's a few other things happening. Still think we could get 1 or 2 more dexes, but maybe you set them up, get them ready for the run on Pulse Chain. When we do get there, we will have our run, our uptrend. We've had a big downtrend. We will get a reversal trend to the upside, I'm sure. It'd be good if we got 3 or 4 big dexes rather than just 2. I think that'd be pretty neat space. We'll see what happens there. Maybe some of the farms are the ones that might do that. What else? What else is happening on the stablecoins? Yeah, well, stablecoins, Liquidity Forks, aren't they? So we'll see what Richard has got coming up as well. Jacob, of course, still got on-chain bet to launch. A little bit more for Mafia. Piers Dialgo, obviously, waiting for ETH to run a little bit probably, and Signum Oracle to launch. So that brings us into Stu. Stu doing Tetra, obviously, and then Signum Oracle. We may get Stu on the show. We'll see how that goes. Let us know if there's any other projects that you think are cool that are launching. Let us know, and we'll cover those as well. All right, I think we're going to finish up there. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Until then, live long and prosper, as they say. Live long and prosper. All right, bye for now.